Great. But let's quickly shift focus in terms of where Take Solutions is concerned. Let's see what the counter has been doing. Yesterday, it was one of the top performers. Today as well, 1.3% is the kind of gains we're picking up there. To discuss the business outlook, joining us is HR Srinivasan, VC and MD at Take Solutions. Good morning, Mr. Srinivasan. To start off with, firstly, overall, if you talk about where FY18 is concerned, the way Q1 FY18 earnings have panned out, what's the outlook looking like?
Good morning. I think that was very much the life sciences business, which is the core of our company, has done exceedingly well. I think we more than 85% of the revenues came from the life sciences business. And the action that we did last also there's been a great improvement in the margins. So the overall outlook, really, it gives a good picture for going forward into FY18.
Okay. So in terms of where margins go, 18.7% is what Take Solutions clocked in the first quarter of FY18. Do we expect to remain at similar levels, or can we see something above the 20% mark?
See, that depends on how the acquisition of Ekron Akinova pans out. At the moment, I think you should see an expansion in margin over the next 3 quarters. But we're more emphasizing on the top line growth, which I expect to be the organic growth to be upwards of 20 to 23%.
Okay, so top line growth is something which, as you mentioned, 20 to 22%. In terms of where the supply chain management business is concerned, what's the outlook looking like over there?
Well, the supply chain management business has been kind of flattish, and we had already indicated that we're trying to sell the business. So I believe that we may have an opportunity, at least for a portion of that business in the near term, to be sold out and some gains realized on the balance sheet.
Okay, and what's the kind of timeline that one could look at in terms of the supply chain management business, and what's the turnover that you clock in that segment?
See, currently, the annual turnover of that business last year was around 35 million.
Yeah.
And on a year-on-year basis, we expect that to remain flattish. But maybe we'll be able to sell a portion of that business during the course of this financial year. And that's what it looks.
Okay, and how much are you looking to sell out of this?
Come again, I didn't understand.
As you mentioned that you are looking to sell a portion of the supply chain management business, what percentage will be sold out?
About 1/3 will be sold out.
Okay, and any key clients that you are already, or key buyers that you are already talking to?
Yeah, obviously we're talking to a few of them, so we have a possibility of a transaction in the very near future.
Okay, and any valuations that you could give us on this business?
No, not at the moment. I think as we transact, I think we'll certainly let the market know.
Okay, so as you're looking, so 1/3 is something that you are looking to sell out of the supply chain management business, but will we see a sale later on for the 2/3 of the remainder business also?
Yes, certainly. That's our commitment, that we will find appropriate homes for our supply chain business and sell that in total. But it's a little there is a geographic angle to it. So the buyers come from particular geographies. So the one in the US, we've been able to zero in on a few buyers that we are in discussions with. So hopefully we'll conclude that transaction. However, the focus of the company, we want to be a full services life sciences company focusing on pharma R&D outsourcing. And I think we want our Take Solutions to become a pure play life sciences company.
Okay. So currently, you have marquee names like Sun Pharma, Cipla, Zydus, Aurobindo, AstraZeneca. Currently, from all the pharma counters, who are your top 3 clients?
Well, our top 3 clients are actually the top global pharma companies. So we serve 9 of the top 10 global pharma companies. So they would constitute the highest portion of our revenues.
Okay. Srinivasan, as you mentioned that, you are looking to be a full-fledged life science company. What's the expansion, that one could look at in the life science space category itself?
There's ample headroom for growth. So on an organic basis, certainly we can grow above 20%, between the 20 and 25% mark. Top line growth is eminently doable. And we've been able to demonstrate that. Over the last 12 quarters, our life sciences compounded quarterly growth rate has been 9%. So it's a fairly, and I'd say we should be able to continue the momentum there.
Right. All right, Mr. Srinivasan. Pleasure speaking to you. So, the supply chain management business is pretty much on the cards. 1/3 of the business is what they are looking to sell, and the deal is expected to be completed in FY18. But over time, the entire business will be sold off in terms of supply chain management, and Take Solutions is focusing mainly on the life science business. But the management is also indicating that there is clear headroom for growth in that segment, and 20 to 22% is the kind of upside that they are looking at in terms of top line from an FY18 perspective. The stock is well seeing gains of 1% as we speak, but if we can just pull up a 1 month or a YTD chart to see what are the kind of returns this counter has given, there you go, 26 to 27% is the kind of upside that we've seen on the Take Solutions in the last 1 month. YTD also similar returns, but in the last 1 month, probably it's the buzz in terms of where sale of the supply chain management business is concerned is what is putting the stock also on an upward momentum. But let's quickly slip into a short break.